Hello everyone, it is I, Shark, here again today for another episode of BA Practice Runs. Today we'll be running BA over on MATERIA. It's just the MATERIA data center. Hi Datos, the BA instance is shared amongst all the worlds over on MATERIA, so it doesn't really matter which world we are on over on MATERIA. Okay, as long as we're on MATERIA, it's all linked together. Okay, we're just starting up BA today. I'm running this from 1 PM plus 8 GMT onwards. The time frame is going to take approximately under 3 hours. Okay, usually it'll be about 2 hours. Okay, it's usually about 2 hours, but there's some variable elements like what time the boss appears so that we can get started. It's variable slightly. Okay, I've been informed that it will start about 15 minutes after 1, so we should look to start it at about 1:15 to 1:20 PM. Okay, and then depends on how long people get assembled, get ready, and then we will get started afterwards. Okay, from the point we zone in, it will take approximately 2 hours. Okay, less than 2 hours. Yeah, if I can go slightly faster. Okay, in the meantime, I'm just gonna be helping to sort out stuff. So to just hang out here for a bit. Okay, it will take some time for me to get sorted. Okay, I do these BA learning runs every month over on MATERIA, and it is just wrangling up people to guide them through the BA BA run. We're just wrangling up people. Whoever's new, they'll sign up. Can I usually just grab as many people who are interested to join, and we'll just go through the BA itself. Okay, in the meantime, I'm just gonna hop into the VC as well. Okay, and I will be guiding the raid through this, so I tend not to be engaging with the chat as much. Okay, because I have to lead 48 other people as well. So I'll be right back. In the meantime, just do enjoy the content. Okay, and I will start to sort things out on my end. Hello everyone. We're just getting people wrangled together, so give me a few minutes as I try to sort things out. Was like missing the whole party. Okay, welcome. Hi everyone, this is Shark here. I'm about to start our BA practice run for the October, the month of October. First things first, as usual, for those of you who are in a party, can you all just kindly ask your party members to hop into the voice channel? It's a lot easier for me to communicate through the VC here. So if you would be so kind, just ask your party members to jump into the VC so that we can get everyone up to speed, and we can communicate with everyone for today's session. It's about time to start pinging people to join the party. Now I have a spreadsheet with all the names ticked off. Okay, so I think we are missing one entire party. So party 4, if any of you are in party 4, if there is even one, we will need someone to start a PF for party 4. Okay, if not, then later on when we zone in, we will have to wrangle everyone in party 4 together. Okay, I'll see if I can find any of them here.
I think maybe that was the party that everyone wanted to join the same party together, so there may be
yeah, I understand. So they probably have like their own party, right? It's like eight people who know each other, and they just signed up for the run as a group. So which is fine.
I think that was the thing.
Yeah.
Probably good to get some confirmation though.
Yeah. The main thing is that I just need to know that they are present and accounted for. So if as long as they are here, someone from their team is here, then it's all good. But I just need to get some confirmation that they are present. Okay, other than that, before we zone in, right? So I think there's still a couple of people who are not present. So the spreadsheet itself, I'm using it to check for attendance. So basically, those who are present, party leaders, or anyone in your party, can you just help me to tick off the names? Okay, you'll see a column marked OK. Okay, and if your party member is here, just tick off the names so that I know that they are accounted for. Okay, and since it's soon to be start time, if you can, just go and ping the folks who are supposed to be here. So if they sign up, they put their name down in the party sign up sheet, but they're not present, maybe see if you can ping them in the Discord. Okay, and if they are pingable, at least it will give them a notification that we are about to start. Okay, but this is assuming that they have changed their names to match their in-game name. Okay, if it is not, then that is unfortunate, but I will not be mandating that we go look for people who are not present and who did not change their names to their in-game names. Okay, it's just too much effort to try to find people. Having said this, our BA runs are kind of flexible in the sense that we don't need full parties to run BA. As close to, okay, obviously there's a minimum number of 24. Okay, no, let me rephrase that. It will sync to 24 as a minimum number, but anything above that, okay, it will start to sync to that number. Okay, but strictly speaking, we don't need a fixed number, just a minimum critical mass, so that we can actually have enough players to cover all the roles, okay, which we have already hit with at least 24. I think today we'll be fielding slightly more than that lah. Up to 30 people signed up, can assign themselves, except for party 4 who is still missing. So we should have enough players. Not to mention we have a lot of veterans who will join us for today's run. Now the run itself is for BA itself, we can accept up to 48 players into BA, but I have only fielded 32. So there are actually 16 spare slots that are open for anyone to grab portals. Now the nature of BA is that as long as you can get into the BA instance, right, you are joining us for the BA run. So there's no actual queuing in process. You will see later on as we zone in. In any case, it's 1 minute to start time, and I've been told that the actual start of the boss fight is 2 minutes after 1 PM. So I only have about 3 minutes left. So I need to keep this short brief. Now, before we zone in, a couple of last few things to check. Make sure you have food. If you have your body piece, Kirin's Osode or Vermilion Cloak, you should bring that along. But otherwise, if you are new, generally speaking, you wouldn't have too many pieces of gear, so that's fine. Make sure you have the sufficient logograms or logos actions prepared for the run. This should have been prepared prior to today's session. And once everyone is ready, we will just pop a ready check and we will zone in. So we're just going to zone in at this point of time. This is the cutoff time, 1 PM. So if anyone is not here, you've tried to ping them and they did not respond, that's unfortunate, but as mentioned before, we're not going to be chasing people. So let's just zone into the instance at this point of time. Pop a ready check. All your party members should be present in the Kugane zone, for the party leader to zone into BA itself. It doesn't have to be on the same world, but you need to be on tier 1 or on in that zone to go into BA itself. I'll go into Hydatos itself.
Just saying, Elu's party is already in Hydatos.
Thank you. At least that they are accounted for. Thanks.
Yeah.
Now, once we zone in, once again, we are expecting to get started really soon. So, my party members not ready. Can everyone from my party please come over to the Kugane instance? Doesn't matter which world, doesn't have to be a specific world, but you need to be on the zone, in the zone, so that we can zone into Hydatos. Now once we zone in, spend some last minute preparation time. If you need to form logos actions, there's a logos thingamajig there at the back. Ovni will pop up soon, I think in a minute or less. So once Ovni appears, right, we will do I will set a start time, and once everyone is ready, we will move over to the Ovni fate. And there's a couple of things you need to check before you can start. You can go into BA. So do these quick checks now. First and foremost, you must be elemental level 60. If there's anyone who is not elemental level 60, you're gonna not be able to enter. By looking at the party list, everyone is 60, so all good. Yes, I will grab Enfred then. I have one space.
I grabbed them already.
Okay, thanks. As long as they're in a party, all good. Next. If there's anyone here who is not assigned any parties, do what the other folks are doing. Just shout, ask for a party. You need to form into a party. Now, besides being elemental level 60, later when Ovni appears, you need to contribute to the Ovni fate, and you need to get a gold credit rating for it. Now, this is easily done in a party of 5 or more. Or if you have tanks, you just spam your enmity generation skills and just get gold credit for the entire party. If you're in a party, everyone shares the contribution, so it's really easy to get gold. Just make sure you're in a party. And lastly, you need to stay in the Ovni fate zone when Ovni is killed to qualify to enter. If you run off before Ovni is killed, or you run too far, you will not be able to enter VA. So just keep in mind these 3 things. Other than that, if you die during the fight, the Ofni fight is fine, doesn't matter. Just get rest and continue as per normal. Okay, this is right on cue. Here, Ofni is popping up. Other than that, okay, so once Ofni is killed, we will start going off to find portals. Now there is going to be a portal map that I'm going to paste in the Eureka Lounge channel. Okay, but this is actually pinned as well, so you can see it in the pins. Okay, this map over here depicts all the positions of every all 48 portals that will pop up after Ofni is killed. You just need to find a portal and camp on the portal spot once Ofni is downed and wait for the portal to appear. Okay, now at this point of time, we're just going to head over to Ofni. We will start at about 8 minutes on the fate timer. So it is now 14 minutes on the fate timer. 6 minutes from now, we will begin. Okay, so everyone else who is still doing your last minute preparation stuff, okay, just go ahead and finish up and head over to the Ofni fate area, okay, once you are ready. Okay, within another 6 minutes or so, we will begin the Ofni fight, so you need to be there and contribute to the fight at that time. Okay, yeah, so good point. Now, later, once Ofni is killed, there will be 48 blue portals that will appear 4 minutes after Ofni is dead. Now, the moment Ofni is killed and you have qualified for the BA run, you will get a buff that starts at 10 minutes, immediately ticking down to 9. And once it hits 6 minutes, blue portals will appear on the map. There will be 48 of these that will spawn all across the map. Okay, they are in the fixed portal spots that I have posted in the map in the Eureka Lounge channel. Okay, all you need to do is just pick a spot, head over to that spot, and wait for the portals to appear. Okay, today we have 49 players in the instance at this current time, so there should be enough portals for everyone who is interested to join. Okay, do note that we have allocated 32 for our group today, and there will be 16 free spots. Now, usually these free spots I leave open for anyone to take. Okay, but if usually what happens is that the veterans who join our runs to help support the run will let the newer players take the portals if to enter BA first, and afterwards, if there are any leftover portals, okay, the veterans will just grab those portals and just join us for the run. Okay, but regardless of whether you sign up or not, as long as you get into BA later, you are with us in our run. Okay, there's nothing that stops you from joining, to be honest. Like, if you can get in, you're gonna join us. Just bear in mind that if there are newbies, okay, newer players, this is after our practice run, okay, aimed at newer players. Try to let the new players grab portals first, and afterwards, if there are any leftover ones, you are free to take those. Okay, but if you're new, quickly just go find a portal spot and sit on it. Okay, now the way it works is that portals, blue portals will appear first. Now, we do not touch the blue portals. Once again, just to repeat, we do not touch the blue portals. Blue portals are what we call priority entry. To get into these blue portals, you will need to use an item known as an etheric stabilizer, okay, which is what Type 1 is mentioning here. And those are not free. Okay, you actually have to farm for these stabilizers. So please be mindful that if you have one in your inventory and you touch a blue portal, you will enter using the stabilizer. It will be consumed. Okay, so kindly just avoid stabbing portals. Okay, we call them stabbing because stabilizers, right? So stabs for short. Okay, we try not to stab portals. There's really no need to do so. Now, 3 minutes after the blue portals have appeared, red portals will appear. Now, what happens is that all the blue portals will disappear from the map. The exact same number of remaining blue portals will reappear as red portals. Okay, and their positions will be shuffled, but because if no one stabs any portals, all 48 red portals will appear in the same 48 spots. Okay, usually if someone takes a blue portal, then there'll be one fewer red portal later on, and it will be a random spot. So someone will get shafted. Okay, someone will miss out on their red portal. Okay, but generally speaking, on Materia, we don't have that kind of player economy. We don't have the numbers to justify stabbing portals. But again, as Typhon said, if you want to stab, up to you. I'm not your dad. You can do whatever you want. But there's really no need to do so. Okay, there's generally no requirement to stab portals here. Okay, other than that, we will be starting in a minute and a half. Now, general etiquette, right, for portals is that once the Ovni dies, you just run off, mount up, run off, find the portal, and you just camp on the portal spot. If you are there first, then generally speaking, that's your portal. If someone else comes along, they should move off and find a different portal spot. Okay, but just be courteous. Like if likewise, if you see someone at the portal spot, don't just sit next to them and compete with them. Okay, there should be enough portals to go around. So just pan out and go and find a different portal for yourself. Okay, last thing to mention is that the portal directly to the west of Ovni, okay, maybe just don't take that one because I will usually be sitting on that one. Okay, I'll usually be sitting very near Ovni for a few reasons. Okay, to help rest dead people, as well as to secure my own portal entry. Okay, as the red lead, if I don't get in, then good luck guys. You're gonna do it for yourselves. But no, I will try my best to get in as well. Okay, so yeah, just try our best to get in. Okay, once again, make sure you are in a party, make sure you are elemental level 60, contribute to the fate. So hit the boss a couple of times. You don't have to go ham with DPS. If you die, just get res. Once Ovni dies, mount up, fan out, find a portal, and get into BA. Okay, the first hurdle of doing BA, right, is getting into BA itself. But here on Materia, it's not that bad. Okay, here on Materia, generally speaking, we don't get that many players. Okay, other worlds, other data centers, we sometimes get 80 plus people. Then that means some people won't get in, which is tough. No, but that's how it is. Okay, now we're gonna start at this point of time. So go ahead, just tag hit Ovni. We're starting. Okay, I'll just try to avoid getting KO'd, especially for those of you who have popped your Spirit of the Remembered. Avoid dying here, because if you die here, your spirit will be consumed. Okay, then you might need to make another one later on. Okay, and other than that, just DPS it down. Avoid dying. Make sure you hit it a few times. Okay, and generally should be fine. Oh, I see. Eric just told me that there was a stat fest recently. Interesting. I think recently the numbers have went up slightly. Like usually, like last year near the end of Endwalkers, we were only hitting like, hey, why mark me? We were only hitting like 30 plus people for BA runs. So like the numbers not really there. Okay, y'all have to move away from me. You're gonna die. Yes, Typhon come. I see, intentional. So I PK you once, so later you can try to PK me once as well. I see. That's the plan.
Revenge BA.
I'm like over here trying to explain stuff, then Ovni is like, no, you have to do mechanics. Okay, Ovni is dead now. Okay, at this point of time, just fan out. Now, if there is fairies on the map, sometimes if anyone has found the elemental fairies, you can also go to those. Okay, but you want to not take the buff too early for the fairies. Okay, basically, the fairies are they give you a 1 hour damage up and regen buff. But they cannot be refreshed, so the moment you take them, it's 1 hour exactly from that point of time. So normally we try to take the fairies as late as we can. Okay, but it's not mandatory or anything. If you don't have it, it's fine as well. Okay, thanks BBD. Okay, BBD has posted a fairy position. Okay, for those of you who want to, feel free to just go over and grab the fairy buff. But make sure you have enough time to run around and find a portal later on. Yes, correct. I think they have 8 charges, if I'm not mistaken. They will pulse 8 times, right? And the final pulse is a very big one. So you will know that it's the last one because the last one is a really large, slow. Oh, is it 10 plus 1? I see.
It's more than that.
Oh, I see, I see. So according to Eric, it's 11, I guess 10 normal ones and 1 final one. So yeah,
Kana posted another one.
thank
Near the
you.
bunny.
Yep. So if you all wish to do so, you can just go over to these ferries. Okay, just keep in mind that don't step close to them until you're ready to take the buff. Okay, they will have a limited number of pulses or charges. Usually we try to get everyone to take it at the same time.
Well, sometimes you will still have people run up and trigger it. If you don't want to get hit by the initial ones, just stay right outside that particular telegraph because the last one will be huge. So if let's say they trigger all the charges and it starts doing the last one, you'll be in range for the last one. So
Okay, other than that, if there's anyone who has difficulty finding portals, try your best to run around. Okay, open your mini map. Okay, one of the simpler tips to mention is that you should keep your mini map open during this time. Okay, your mini map will show you the positions of all the portals. Okay, now they haven't appeared yet, so it's still blank. But leave the mini map open. Once the portals appear in under a minute or so from now, you will see little marks on the map that denotes where the portals are found. Okay, once again, the initial wave of portals will be blue, so do not take those portals, but generally speaking, you can camp on them. So once the portals appear, okay, those who are waiting for the ferry, just grab the ferry in a couple of minutes more, and then head over to a empty portal spot afterwards. Okay, there's no real rush because once again we should have enough portals for everyone involved. We have about 49 players in the instance, and if I'm not mistaken, not everyone is here for BA. So we should have enough lah. Okay, at the most like one person doesn't get in, assuming that everyone's attempting to go in.
oh, the biggest bait, Sito is up.
You want to go kill Sito? I mean, it's up to y'all lah. It's up to y'all. Y'all have about 6 minutes, less lah, 6 to be safe. Maybe about 5 minutes and enough time to run over afterwards. If y'all want to try, y'all can go ahead lah. If y'all want to try, can go ahead. But do make it quick. Don't miss your chance to get into BA because of Sito. There will be more Sitos, but not as many BA runs. Although having said that, I think throughout almost every week there's at least one. So it's not too bad lah. It's not too bad. If you miss today's session, it's not too bad. But since you're already here, try not to miss it. Okay, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. You can use the shout chat, party chat, yell chat, or say chat. Okay, for free trial players, only allowed say chat, so it's a bit unfortunate. Yeah, I think for them, party chat works also lah, so you can talk to your party members as well. Generally speaking, every party should have one veteran, at least one. Okay, except for party 4, who is a full party. So if you have any questions, feel free to just ask in any of the other chats as well. Okay, now to save time, right, I'm just gonna start briefing on what to expect after we zone in to BA. Okay, now BA, I know, okay, a lot of people have mentioned this lah. I tend to talk a lot, okay, I tend to ramble a lot, so I'll try to keep things shorter a little bit lah. Later, once we zone into BA, okay, in about a minute or so, the portals will turn red. So just once you see red portal, you can click on the red portal safely. Okay, do note that the red portals it will not appear at exactly where the blue portal is at. Okay, the blue portal will disappear first, and then the red portal will appear somewhere in the vicinity. Okay, don't tunnel vision and lose track. Like you don't see the red portal, but it's actually behind you. Just zoom out a little bit, find the red portal, and click onto it to get into BA. Now, once you're into BA, first things first, welcome to BA, and do not rush off the starting initial platform for VA. Okay, VA, later once we zone in, there's an initial starting platform where we will organize things. Okay, we will get organized there, and we will sort out parties. If there's anyone who's not signed up or who has joined BA using one of the spare portals, okay, we will just grab you into a party. What we normally do is we go inside the BA instance and we yell for a party, okay, using the looking for group or just raise your hand. Okay, red portals, grab red portals. I'll see you inside. Okay, and if you need a party, just say or yell for one at this initial starting platform. Okay, at the same time, what's going to happen is that there's going to be a logos manipulator on the right. Everyone should pop their single Spirit of the Remembered action and use it. Okay, in DA, if you didn't already know this, dying is permanent. Okay, people die when they are killed. So if you die in DA, we cannot res you normally. Normal resurrection actions don't work here. You need to rely on your Spirit of the Remembered to res yourself. Okay, essentially resing yourself by using the Spirit action. Having said this, if it fails, okay, healers can also res you using sacrifice. Okay, but sacrifice will kill the healer as well, and then the healer will rely on their own spirit to res themselves. Okay, if that fails, then another healer will do the same thing and it will chain onwards. So to a certain extent, we have a limited number of reses based on how many healers are present and how many of them bring sacrifices. Generally speaking, we should have enough if we don't have too many deaths, but in the event that, you know, like there's a massive alliance wipe, okay, we may be forced to end the run prematurely. Okay, but fingers crossed that doesn't really happen too often. Okay, now, once you have cracked open your Spirit of the Remembered and applied it, okay, make sure everyone in your party should have one applied. You can refresh that empty tray with something else. Okay, try to stock up on the maximum number of trays you can possibly bring, because once we get started, we cannot come back to this starting position. So whatever you're bringing for this run is what you're going to have for the entirety of the BA. Okay, the whole BA, you're going to be using these actions. Okay, so make sure you have sufficient spirits. Okay, every time you die, you need to use a new Spirit of the Remembered. So make sure you bring some spares as well. Okay, now other than that, there's a timer for our BA run. Okay, it's currently located below our instance timer on the in your quests menu area there. Okay, it's currently sitting at 21 minutes. Everyone has the same instance timer, same Baldigian Arsenal timer. Okay, if that timer runs out, we will get ejected from the instance. Okay, but it's not only 20 minutes. Every time we reach certain checkpoints in the run, the time will extend. Okay, it's like those racing games. You cross the checkpoint, you get a time extension. Cross another checkpoint, you get a time extension. Same thing here. So we have to sort of expedite the run to not take too long. Okay, once again, I'm pretty famous for taking a lot of time, but I'll try my best to speed things up a bit. Okay, now the other thing to mention here is that we are going to be splitting our alliance into two main groups at the start. So west side is Owen. Okay, so let me make this extremely clear. The logos manipulator side is the art side. The Magia Melder side is the Owen side. Okay, so make sure you are going off on the correct side. You want to, okay, now parties or party leaders, you can try to mark the side you are going off on with waymarks. Okay, waymarks and signs in this BA is party centric. Only your party can see them. So parties, we will, okay, what we normally do is we will yell out. For example, my party 223, Art, and MT, main tank. Okay, so Archon Sharks party, 2 tanks, 2 healers, 3 DPS. Art is the boss we are going off on. Okay, the side we are going off on. And MT means I'm main tank. Okay, silent hero. Okay, I'll grab silent. Okay, I have a spare slot. So that changes me to 323. Thank you. Okay, okay, there's a spare scholar as well. Anyone who needs a healer, please grab them. Okay, any players who are loose players, they don't have a party, right? And your party has a slot, just grab them. Okay, our instance has, okay, our BA instance has about, let's do a quick count. Less than 45.
I have one and one spot in my party because my one of them is doing Cedo, I think.
No worries.
Yeah, I'll
Okay, we have about 43 players.
Yeah, I'll grab the solo.
Thank you. Okay, now other than that, right? If anyone here today is having perception, okay, at the start here, we will also call out for perceptors. So if you have brought perception and you're willing to, okay, either you know how to perceive already or you're willing to learn how to perceive, you can just yell out, I have perception, which side you're going on, either art side or Owen side. Okay, we'll need one perceptor on each side. Ideally, ideally we need one perceptor on each side. Okay, please yell out that you have perception and which side you're going off on as well. Okay, other than that, we need to try to keep the parties balanced at the start. So hence this all this organization. Okay, Typhon will assist me today. Thanks, Typhon. With Oct. Okay, but I see a lot of the other veterans here as well. Okay, BBD, Eric, Seal. Is Seal even here? I didn't see him, but he should be. Okay, all the veterans. Okay, so thanks very much, guys. Okay, these guys, they do BA a lot, so every time there's BA, they'll be there lah. So they'll be assisting me along the way as well. I really appreciate all the assistance from the veterans. Okay, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in your party chat as well. Okay, if generally speaking, I'll be talking a lot so I tend to be very distracted So if you have questions and you ask it in the chat and I might miss it because I know I have a list of things to explain, feel free to just ask them anyway. The veterans will answer them for you as well. Okay, if they are able to, they'll generally try to answer the questions that you may have. Okay, other than that, I think I'm just waiting for the confirmation from Typhon. We need to sort of evenly balance our parties. I think we should have 6. Okay, 43 players, so about 5. Yeah, 5 parties and a party of loose players. Okay, or more or less around that number. So we should generally have about 6 parties, not full ones, but 6 parties, and we'll try to split them 3-3, with more players going to Owen, generally speaking. Okay, as Eric mentioned as well, if you want to learn how to do perception, feel free. This is the best time to learn perception. Okay, we will generally teach you how to do perception if you are interested in learning. We have sufficient time. Okay, my BA runs tend to go for very long anyway, so this is a great time to learn. And Eric will guide you through it. See, Eric's our best perceptor here, so feel free to show interest. Okay, if you want to learn, feel free to do so today. This is the best time to do so. Okay, if not, then we will still need at least 1 or 2 perceptors. I hope you guys got it covered. Okay, only DPS can do perception, unfortunately. Okay, only DPS can do perception. So only DPS players can carry perception.
He's not just the best perceptor, he also wrote the guide.
Yeah, he's the one who wrote the guide. So
The guide.
Okay, other than that, once, okay, as usual, I try not to take too much time. Okay, once your parties are ready, assemble on the correct side. Okay, make sure you do not fall off on the wrong side at this starting phase. Because once you drop off, you cannot get back up. So once you pop, okay, parties do ready checks. And once your party is ready as a whole, okay, make sure you know which side you're going off on. You will fall down together as a group on off the correct side. Okay, we are assuming that we should have enough players on each side. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, yes, so Yum will go to Owen side. Thank you.
That kind of leaves us a little bit unbalanced because the 3 parties will involve a party of 2. So I might get Yum to go Art, and if Elu's party can go Owen instead.
Okay, that will actually work out better. Yes.
Yeah.
So Yum, maybe you come over to the art side, and Elu's party, you go over to Owen. Yeah, this is generally better. Okay, we need more players onto Owen side because Owen is tankier. It's harder to kill, needs more DPS. But Owen is technically also the easier side. The mechanics are easier to resolve, so it works out better. We send more players to the easier side, tends to work out better for both, for all of us. So kindly head over to the Owen side, which is on the Magia Melder side. Thank you. Okay, make sure you go off as a whole party. No worries. Okay other than that, we more or less have gotten everything sorted. Okay, for those main tank parties, you have confirmed which side you're on. Here, do ready checks. And the main tank parties and the parties that are not swapping over. Okay, Typhon, everything okay? Do you think
Yeah, yep,
All
all
good,
good.
Okay,
I just got to sort
so-
out my plates.
No worries. Take your time. Actually, I should probably bring spares as well, but it's okay lah. Okay, so no worries. At this point of time, we will just hop off the correct side. Okay, hop off the correct side. Okay, Yuki, go speak to Eric. Eric, Yuki has expressed interest in learning how to percept. So Eric will directly liaise with you. Okay, I will be raid leading. Eric will guide you through it lah. Okay, so if you're interested, just bring a perception. Okay, more is always good lah. Okay, we don't, having more than 2 is generally okay. 3, 4, 5 even is actually okay. So it's not too bad. Okay, so thanks Eric, help me guide Yuki Naoki through the perception duties. All good. Okay, Ken, thank you very much. Okay, once that's sorted out, parties who are ready, kindly hop off on the correct side. Okay, once again, fall off together as a party. The main tanks will have stances on and rotate their magia to the correct elements. And once you have sufficient people who have dropped off, go ahead, main tanks, just start pulling trash mobs. Okay, you all can just start pulling. Usually the main tanks are some of the veterans as well, so I trust them to know what they're doing. Now, the main thing to note here with BA runs is that you don't want to pull enmity off the main tanks. Okay, this is important because, as you know, in the Hydatos instance, you are level 60, but there are mobs who are level 65. Okay, these mobs here are actually level 65, so they punch really hard. Okay, even despite you being max level, they hit very hard. So you never ever want to pull enmity off the main tank unless you know what you're doing. Okay, so generally always let the main tanks establish aggro first. Don't rush ahead. Let the main tanks go first as well. Okay, any other tanks? Okay, tanks, if you are in this run, but you're not the main tank, but you have defensive lost action. Okay, wisdom. Okay, wisdom. For a moment there, I forgot the name. I've been doing too much CRS. I was gonna call them essence, but if you have a defensive wisdom, feel free to pull loose mobs. Okay, so for example, if let's say a DPS or generally speaking, a healer will grab aggro off loose mobs. If you are not a main tank, right, just be ready to pull loose mobs in the event that someone accidentally pulls something. Okay, so like if the main tank is pulling 3 mobs and suddenly a 4th mob is being pulled by a DPS, quickly grab it so that you can tank it for a while. Okay, other than that, at the top of the stairwell, you will see these Biblosus. Now these mobs are particularly dangerous because they do a nasty frontal cleave attack directed at the main tank and an instantaneous rear cleave attack. You do not want to be standing in front or behind of them. You also do not want to be standing with the main tank. Move away from the main tank for these mobs. They tend to fire off their cleave attacks at the main tank suddenly. Okay, actually because they are being stunned for the magic hammer, and after the stun, they will cleave the main tank. So you don't want to be standing with the main tank despite them facing away from the main tank. Okay, we've seen a couple of accidents in the past. Okay, try not to let that happen too early on in the raid. Okay, and once you have arrived at the first pair of bosses, known as the twins, okay, I'll do a brief explanations here. Now, we will also usually do what Seal is doing here, which is shouting out the boss's HP. Okay, something like this. So, yeah, so thanks, Eric. So this signifies that both sides have arrived at their bosses. Now, these bosses cannot be fought alone. They need to be pulled at approximately the same time. Hence, we need to have both sides ready to start the fight. Now, I'll begin with the Owain explanations. Owain is really simple. Owain is either fire or ice element. He has orbs of either fire or ice rotating around him or it. And you just need to go to the spear of the opposite color. If he's fire, go to an ice spear. If he's ice, go to a fire spear. If the fight goes on long enough and you see the triangle Dorito markers, you stack with other players with the same marker except those with the AoE on their feet. That one, those you pull away from everyone else. And that's all the mechanics we will see for Owain. Okay, so once again, just go to the opposite element. If in doubt, follow the crowd. Okay, follow everyone else. Okay, that is Owain side. Now, Art side is slightly more difficult. Art will place spears, and each of these spears will mimic his pattern. So if Art fires a point blank, after Art's point blank, the spears will fire a point blank as well. If Art fires a donut, then afterwards, the spears will fire a donut as well. So you need to either move away and then move in, or you need to move in and then move out to a spear. Now, alternatively, there'll be certain safe spots near the edge of the arena between spears. Okay, but if you're not very sure where these are, just try to do the movement. If not, then follow someone who knows where to go. Okay, if Eric wants to, Eric can maybe you all want to mark Eric, then Eric will go to the safe spots. Okay, I'm gonna just point Eric out here. So for those of you on Art side, Eric will make use of the edge safe spots. You all can try to follow him if you're not sure where to go. Okay, if you want to, parties, please mark Eric with a sign, okay, a square or cookie or something, so that you know where Eric is. Now, shortly after this mechanic, the floor will glow, stop moving. Okay, don't move. Once the floor stops glowing, get out of the line AoEs. Okay, if you move during the legendary gears, which is the name of the move, you will get heavied. Okay, you make it difficult for you to move, and afterwards the line AoEs come out. It's hard to dodge those when you're heavied. Okay, and that's pretty much all the mechanics we'll see for Art as well. Okay, at this point of time, we're going to get started soon. So I'm going to set an ET. Now, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask them. If not, then we'll set the ET to ET2240. Okay, ET2240. This Eosian time, 2240. So in about a minute or so. Do your usual checks. Okay, food check. If you have food, remember to pop food. Food actually works inside BA. Thanks for the reminder. Rotate your Magia to the correct element. Okay, this shouldn't need to be reminded too often, but do a quick Magia check. Okay, and tanks will have their stances. Okay, main tanks will have stances on, or other tanks will stance off. Okay, for most boss fights, you can fire off limit breaks. Okay, LB2 is 5 seconds before the pull, so 3 ET. So 2ET, 2238 LB2. 2239 is LB1. Range or caster LB only. Okay, other than that, ready up. We're gonna start soon. If you have limit break 2, feel free to just fire it off. If you have limit break 1, fire it off now. Okay, and we will main tank establish. So I can only do callouts for the Art side. So if there's anyone on Owain side who wishes to do so.
Yeah, I got it.
Thank you. Art's going down really, really fast. Okay, for Art side, the spears are coming up soon, so if you wish to dodge them, you can look for Eric near the edge.
Owain, go to ice. Go to an ice spear.
Okay, now Art side, folks, Art is already dead. Just rotate to defensive and stay alive. There's no need to do any more DPS. He's technically already dead. Okay, the way this
Build your gauge.
Yeah, build your gauge. The way these boss fights work is that both sides have to be killed before they will actually die. So we are hence waiting for Owain to finish off their boss as well. Okay, more spears for Art side. You want to hug a spear on the outer edge. Okay, this will
Owain, go to fire. Go to fire.
Nice.
Okay, Art, this is the stop moving mechanic, so stop moving.
Stop.
Owain, Doritos stack behind the boss. AoE spread.
Okay, get out of it. Nice. Skip. Okay. Okay. Just avoid Eric.
It is Eric. Wow, I marked the correct
never mind.
person.
Owain's dead.
Okay, nice. We're just waiting for Art to get down here. Thanks. Fantastic. Okay, if there's any dead players, right, you got to let healers res you. Now, generally speaking, for BA runs, healers who are about to sacrifice to raise a player will yell out their name or say their name out so that we don't double up on sacrifices. Okay, also note that up the stairs, there's a trap. Okay, there is gonna be a trap up the stairs. Do not run ahead of the Perceptors. Let the Perceptors go first. Okay, here Eric will demonstrate how to percept a trap. Or maybe how not to percept a trap. Okay, now watch out for these gigantic glowy traps. These ones are explosive traps. If someone steps in them by mistake, it will take out anyone around them as well. So don't give them a white buff. Okay, just don't stay near them. Now in this main hallway, there's going to be some mobs hugging the wall. There's a treasure coffer near the end of the hallway. Okay, this all treasure coffers in BA are personal. You have to open your own treasure coffer. Okay, you can see it for yourself. You click on it to grab your own loot. We are waiting for the inside folks to join us as well. Okay, this is where our alliance combines back again into one. no Perceptor here, I see. Quick, Eric, where's Eric?
At least we've got one for the raid, unlike a couple of learning runs ago.
I know, right? There was that one time there was no perception at all. I think that was the last session. Yeah, it's gonna be a ghost wandering around. You'll just keep an eye out for mobs. Don't let them touch you. The ghost doesn't aggro you unless it collides with you, or your HP is very, very low. So just give it a white buff, you should be
A
fine.
full ghost on the stairs.
Yeah. Just move out of the way. Okay, there's some certain mobs in this BA run which are particularly nasty. They have special mechanics that we need to pay attention to. These will be the doll, which is wandering up and down the middle of the hall. That one needs to be pointed away from the alliance. Okay, someone has pulled the doll, so I'm just gonna help Keko.
The ghost is pulled as well.
Okay, can a tank just grab the ghost as well? Okay, the doll is gonna be pulled. Okay, the doll has been slapped now, so we're gonna leave that alone for a bit. Kill the ghost first, focus on the ghost first, and we'll get to the doll after it unsleeps. Okay, keeping in mind that we need to keep one sleep for when the doll does the head tomp thingy. Okay, there's also a sprite wandering up and down. Sprites will aggro when you cast spells near them, so casters just be extremely careful about it. Okay, now I'm gonna
Feet
pull
wearing
the,
off.
the
Yep.
Kalka. No worries, I'm gonna grab this. Okay, be away from where it's pointing. This is a gigantic gaze attack. Okay, nice, someone use sharp brand death L, thanks.
No, my brain.
Okay.
How dare you claim it?
Yeah. I've lost market share here in Materia. So sad. Hey, where's the sprite? Where's the sprite? Oh, it's coming down the stairs. Okay. Next. Centaurs in BA needs to be interrupted when they get their berserk cast going, but they cannot be stunned or silenced. So usually a healer needs to cast sleep, okay, or repose on centaurs. But usually a veteran will do it. Okay, but don't pre-cast the sleep. Okay, don't make them immune to sleep, because then you'll get really spicy afterwards. Okay, if the berserk goes off, they will start one-shotting players. Okay, the tank can probably take 2 hits before dying. So if that happens, tanks need to immediately go into emergency mode and pop tank inbounds as well. Okay, I'm going to start pulling these Maguses. Okay, Shuin will also help. Okay, any other tanks, if you all know what you're doing, you can help to pull stuff as well. Feel free to do so. And we just burn all of them down. Thank you. Just watch for targeted AoEs from these Megai. But other than that, not too bad, not too spicy. These centaurs will be next. Just be careful for these. I'm going to start off by pulling one of the centaurs. Thank you, it has been interrupted. Okay, and the other ones, thanks. Once we have dispatched all the mobs, the doors will open for our second boss, Raiden. Now, once again, in the interest of time, I'm just going to start explaining Raiden's mechanics. Okay, Raiden or Raiden. Now, Raiden has two main mechanics that you need to look out for. Okay, and it is thunder aspected, so you may wish to rotate your Mega to the correct element. Okay, while I'm explaining, your Mega should regenerate. Now, Raiden's first major mechanic is lateral Zantetsuken, and Raiden will disappear from the arena and appear in the middle. Shortly afterwards, okay, no, sorry, he will disappear from the arena. We will stack in the middle. Okay, all of us will stack in the middle, and shortly afterwards, he will appear on either the east or the west side of the arena, raising his sword to either his left or his right, so either the north or south, pointing north or pointing south. Puddles will appear below all of us, stacked in the middle. Move out of the puddles, okay, the AoE puddles, and move to the side Raiden's sword is not pointing at. Okay, so get out of the puddles first, because if you don't, you will probably die, and then run towards the safe side. You can do this in a single action. Okay, you can do this in a single movement. Just get out of the puddles, running towards the safe side. But if you are unsure, just step out of the puddles first. There's enough time for you to identify which side everyone else is going to. Okay, if you see everyone running to north or south, okay, you will understand that that's where you need to go to as well. Okay, so this is lateral Zantetsuken. Shortly afterwards, Raiden cleaves through the center of the arena and killing anyone that is in the middle or on the wrong side. Okay, if you see everyone else running to one direction and you're going the other way, right, running off to Narnia, quickly turn around and run the other way. Okay, follow everyone else. Healers, if you see your party member running off to Narnia, just rescue them over to the correct side. Okay, but not through the middle, not through the puddles. Okay, that might kill them instead. Okay, now, the other mechanic that we generally shouldn't see is Cloud to Ground. Okay, now Cloud to Ground is basically a single traveling AoE appears at the edge of the arena, and as it starts traveling, we stack on where it spawned. Raiden does bitter bumps afterwards, which will mark players with a tether, and there'll be a lot of things going on. Okay, there's more Exa flares, okay, traveling AoEs. Some players will have AoEs put below them, okay, and some of them will be tethered together. Break tethers, dodge traveling AoEs, dodge puddles on the ground, dodge everything, try to stay alive as best as you can. At the end of all of it, come back towards Raiden, he will do Whirling Zantetsuken. Okay, Whirling Zantetsuken is a donut-shaped AoE. The hit inside the hitbox is safe. You must be inside the hitbox. Okay, all of Raiden's sword attacks will one-shot you. Okay, if his sword hits you, right, you just die. Okay, the only way to not die is to not get hit by the sword. Okay, so just be careful. Whirling Zantetsuken gets done a couple of times in this fight. You will hear me do callouts. I will say go into his hitbox. Please be inside his hitbox. Okay, other than that, that's pretty much it for Raiden's mechanics. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them. Okay, if not, then it seems that Typhon is doing a random roulette MT, so is it Shu? Who's the winner for the main tank? Sorry, Shuin. Thank you. Yes, so Shuin's gonna be our main tank. Thanks, Shuin. Okay, I'm gonna mark Shuin with a cookie lah. Yeah, once again, signs and markers are party specific. So if you all need to do so, right, you can mark the main tank. But for this fight, generally speaking, it's not really necessary. This is more useful for the third boss, Absolute Virtue, later on. Okay, but other than that, Shuin will be our main tank. So Shuin stands on, everyone else stands off. We're gonna start at ET. ET 02. Sorry, 02. Okay, 0250 lah. Okay, 0250. Okay, gonna start at 0250. Yeah. Okay, remember to pop your wisdoms. If you cracked it open but you didn't use it or didn't activate it, please remember to. So if you died in any of the previous fights, please remember to pop a new Spirit of the Remember as well. Yeah. Okay. Okay lah. Same thing as before. If you have limit break 2, okay, I doubt anyone has lah. Okay, but LB2 is at 2 ET before, so 0248 is LB2, 0249 is LB1. Okay, range for caster limit break only. Okay, and other than that, food check, gear check, Mega Lord check. Okay, and we'll just try our best, listen to callouts. We generally should be fine. Okay, DPS looks to be fantastic on this run, so I'm not too worried about that. Okay, focus up, come forwards a little bit more. We're gonna start soon. Limit break 2, if you have it. Limit break 1, fire dog now. Okay, and main tank will establish from Now, the main tank usually pulls Raiden to the edge of the arena at the start because we need the extra space. There's going to be a raid wide, a tank buster, and Raiden will electrify the edge of the arena as well. Okay, this is the tank buster. Now, shortly after all of these mechanics go off, Raiden will do a move called Ame no Sakahoko, which is a gigantic point-blank AoE. All ranged players can start going to maximum range away from Raiden. Once Ame no Sakahoko is being cast, everyone runs away from Raiden. Okay, now everyone run away from Raiden. Everyone run away from Raiden. Raiden jumps backwards and we need to be inside his hitbox. Be inside his hitbox. This is whirling Zantetsuken. Anyone outside instantly dies. Now after this, Raiden will disappear and he will do lateral Zantetsuken, stacking in the middle, looking to the west, dodge the puddles and get out. Go to the correct side afterwards. So just go to where everybody is headed to. Okay, he will cleave the arena, killing anyone in the other half. Another raid wide, and there'll be a light spread afterwards. Okay, after this, just spread out lightly, spread out lightly. This is Lancing Bolt. Just place your markers spread out, but don't be in any overlapping regions. You can take one hit, that's fine. 2 hits, it gets a bit spicy. And this is a light DPS check. You will burn the spears. Shortly after this, Raiden does another raid wide and the bruise. Okay, BBD's trademark. We just get out of that. And I think we just kill it. Yeah, we just commit and kill it.
Commit! Commit!
That would have been Cloud to Ground, which is the second difficult mechanic, but we usually skip it with good DPS. Okay, now once again, there is another treasure coffer at the front here where everyone is congregating around, so do remember to grab your treasure coffers. Okay, once again, all treasure coffers are personal. If you forget this one, you will get another chance to grab it later on. Okay, now in this hall, Shuin will start to peel mobs. We are not running into it because there's a trap, okay, which Yuki has revealed. Thank you very much, Yuki. Okay, and in here, we're just gonna dispatch mobs. Okay, so same thing, more trash mobs. The fans, big fan, does line AoEs. Just pay attention to those. If they fire them down the stairs, it can be a bit hard to see the telegraphs. The door once again needs to be pointed away from everyone, but we should just kill it, or use Shark Brand, Death L.
Wow.
I need to advertise.
So
I need to
sneaky.
advertise my brand. If not, who does? Yeah, okay, it's just it. Nice. Okay, and just do below tasks here and there. All good. Okay, the small traps, the small glowy circles, these are bleed / vulnerability traps. Generally speaking, if you step on one, it's not the end of the world, but you will put a 1 minute bleed and a 10-minute vulnerability up on you. So ideally, if you're new, you don't want to step on them, but sometimes players will step on them on purpose. So don't be too surprised if someone does it. Some of the veterans will eat the bleed traps for specific reasons. Mostly for fun, but sometimes they do them for certain reasons. Okay, as well as the explosive traps as well. Large kaboom traps. Tanks will consume these traps as well. Okay, there's one right ahead. Do not run straight ahead. Okay, wait, stop here first. Let the Perceptor do their job first. Okay, never ever run ahead of the group unless you know that it's safe to do so. Okay, so there's a trap and a treasure coffer. Okay, the trap has been revealed. Grab the treasure coffer afterwards. Hey, I need to advertise a bit more. Maybe let's run these more. Okay, this hallway has a bunch of mobs here. 2 sprites, 2 walking armors, we will dispatch the mobs in the hallway first. There are 6 rooms in this corridor or in this hallway. Each room has an element. Okay, now it's not specifically stated anywhere, but if you look in the room, it's sort of color coded thematically to determine what room it is. So fire on the right and earth on the left at the start. Okay, then the middle rooms are wind and thunder, and ice and water are at the end. Okay, we're gonna just pull some of these mobs
It's an
here.
ice coffer.
Thank you. Okay, now, there's going to be one treasure coffer in one of the 6 rooms. Okay, BBD has mentioned that it's in ice. Thank you very much. We can see the treasure coffer in the room itself, so we can determine where it is. But there's also going to be a hidden teleporter in one of the 6 rooms. Okay, it's random. Every time we do BA, it's a random room. Now for the teleporter, we cannot see it. So to reveal it, ideally we try to use a perceptor to scan for the teleporter. But each room has traps and mobs in them. So we usually need to dispatch the mobs to make it safe for the perceptor to go in to scan for the traps. So usually that's what we will do. Okay, this is the rule of thumb. Okay, if people know what they're doing, they can technically go slightly faster, can run in, avoiding mobs, and so on. Okay, but if you're new, don't do that. If you're new, just learn the ropes first before starting to go a bit more YOLO with things. Okay, now because the treasure coffer is in ice, we will usually target that room first. Okay, we want the loot, so we'll aim for the ice room first. Okay, once again, the tanks will try to peel the mobs out of the room, and we'll try to dispatch them safely outside the room. Okay, now these mobs generally are not too dangerous, but some of the mobs will fire off targeted AoEs, pizza slices, okay, or known as the conal AoEs, and you just want to be careful with dodging those. Okay, also note that some of these rooms have traps, so we never run into rooms unless we know it's safe. Okay, let the perceptors go in first. Okay, here you can see Eric is guiding Yuki to scan for the explosive traps. Okay, there should be 2.
You're up.
Yep,
You're
there's
right.
2 over there on the right. So avoid the traps, grab the treasure coffer. Okay, the ice room is cleared. Okay, the teleport can be in the same room as the treasure room, which will significantly cut down the amount of time taken for the run. Okay, but unfortunately, it's not here.
Yeah, that's the fabled 1-room BA.
Alright. Okay, now we're gonna do water room next. So once again, Shuin, pull the mobs out. Now these blue colored doors do gigantic pizza slices. So you either be very near them to dodge or extremely far away. Okay, the best is to stay near. Okay, if you are like mid-range or not far enough, it's gonna be difficult to get out of the pizza slice. So just be extremely careful. Okay, same thing as before. 2 traps in the water room. Do not run in recklessly. Do not rush recklessly in. Unless you want to use do something called body perception, which is basically disarming the trap with your life. 7 BA. No, but if Eric is here, we will never get that right. Eric will not miss a teleport.
Oh, it's here.
Nice. Okay. Head through the teleporter. Just be careful with the traps.
All the 0 trust people will be hanging
I'm
back.
not gonna. Okay, now through the teleporter, there's gonna be a treasure on the right side. That one is safe, so feel free to just grab that treasure coffer. Okay, there are no traps for this one. This is a freebie. Okay, we're gonna go down the stairwell, down the stairs, another hallway. Okay, sorry, another hall with another bleed trap, more mobs to dispatch. Okay, and there will be another hall with 6 rooms. Okay, this is a different set of 6 rooms. There's 2 sets of these. And what's gonna happen is that, okay, so again, systematically, we're gonna dispatch the mobs. Okay, if Shuin's at the front, Shuin will go ahead and start pulling a few of them at a time. Okay, Yuki will try to scan for the trap when it is safe to do so. Okay, Yuki, just be careful, don't run in unless it is safe lah. They are like, mobs will still aggro onto you, and if you get bonked, you will very likely die. So just be extremely careful with recklessly percepting. Usually the tank can pull the mob from far so that it is safe for you to carefully sweep for traps. Okay, but don't rush recklessly. Okay, now after this hall is done, there's 6 more rooms. Now this next set of 6 rooms, we are gonna do something, some organization. Now what's gonna happen is that we are gonna split up into 6 different parties or groups. Okay, 6 different groups, with each group ideally having a tank and a healer, and we will need to have one for each room. Okay, each room, once again, the rooms are element marked. So if you what happens is we normally do something like this. So for example, my party is 323 and I'll be going to, let's say, the thunder room. Okay, so we will be doing thunder. Okay, so this is as an example. Parties will start to yell out their party compositions and which room they wish to take. Okay, if you're unsure, you can just ask in your party. Okay, generally speaking, every room is the same. There's no difficult room, there's no easy room. You just pick a room, making sure that you have a tank and a healer to keep the tank alive. Okay, the tanks will just stand on, go into defensive, and tank the mobs. Okay, and the DPS players will burn the mobs down. Okay, basically, it's a tank and spank job. Okay, there are special. Okay, clear the hallway first. Okay, there are certain special tricks we can do here in the rooms as well. Okay, certain rooms will have may not need a tank all the time. So for example, like if we have a reflector, okay, watch out for this. We can get the reflector to do earth room safely because earth room mobs only do magic damage. So if they reflect up all the time, they don't take any damage at all. Okay, and certain other things like BBD offering to do fire plate sense shenanigans, which means that DPS can tank. Okay, a DPS or healer can tank the mobs as well. Okay, so we will sort this out. Okay, usually we will either we will start using shout for this portion of the halls of BA, because if you are in one end of the hallway and you use yell, the other end of the hallway cannot hear you. Okay, cannot read your yells. So we will start to utilize shouts just for this section here. Okay, so we are sorting out the rooms. Give us a bit of time. Okay, yeah, my room will, once again, just to confirm, we will be taking the thunder room. Yeah, damn. I know, right? Not following my own instructions.
Organizer prog.
usually, Kelly will help me do all this stuff. So if you all know, I usually run this with Kelly Ciora, but she's busy in real life. She has stuff to deal with in real life right now. So we miss her, but she will hopefully be back in next month's BA practice run. So for this month, right, I have to rely on you guys. Such a letdown, such a disappointment. No, I appreciate you guys. Thanks.
To be relied on is just more opportunity to grief.
Wow. So that's the plan, huh?
That's why I chose to be assistant today. I'm just trying to come up with a laser version of assisting.
I see. Hopefully you'll figure it out one day and then just grief someone someone else's run. Thanks. Okay. We're still missing ice room. If there's any parties who have not been assigned, if you've not been given a room, please let us know. I think one of the parties is like 2 or 3 members only, right? So we might need to help that party out. Yeah, there will be like, okay, so if there are parties with 2 tanks and 2 healers, we sometimes can split the party into 2. So like 1 tank and 1 healer goes into one of the into each room, and technically speaking, a single party can cover 2 rooms. It just takes slightly longer as well. Okay, but once again, just make sure you have been assigned a room And if there's any room that's not assigned or any party who has not been assigned, please let us know as well. Okay, we will just need to make sure everything's covered. Then we can get started. Okay, at the same time, okay, so Typhon, go ahead, help me to resolve this in chat. Yeah, at the same time, right, outside of Eureka in the Hydatos instance, there's going to be a support fate. Now, this support fate is basically the Tristitia fate, and there will be players out there who will help us to take that fate down as well. Okay, so looking at the adventurer list, there's 8 people out there. Just nice. Nice, just nice 8 people. Okay, actually one of them cannot make it in, so 7. Okay, but these folks are known as the support desk folks. They are here to help us with support desk, okay, the support fate outside. So thanks very much to those guys as well. Okay, they can technically join us into BA through the support fate as well. So just so you guys know, if there's anyone who, like, if you miss BA, miss the entry to BA, and you wish to, you can actually join midway through BA as well, and it still counts as a clear. Just that you won't get the full run, okay, and you will miss out on the loot that is in the first 2 bosses, but you will get to do the 3rd and 4th bosses. So there's actually 8 more people who can join into BA through the support fate. The process is the same, but instead of 48 portals, there's 8 portals instead. Same, almost identical process. Join the fate, get gold contribution rating, stay in the fate zone, fate dies, get the buff, pan out, blue portals appear, 3 minutes later, they all disappear, reshuffle, red portals appear. Grab the red portals. Okay, so that's how the support fate is done. Okay, those people out there, they already know what to do, so thanks very much. Okay, the folk out there. Okay, and once you have been sorted into your rooms, just head into your room. Stay in a corner of the room. Okay, why we stay in a corner? Because later, once we start this part of the fight, the doors will close and 2 mobs will spawn in every room, and the mobs will be facing in a direction. If you're standing somewhere random in the room and they are looking at you, you will aggro them instantly. So we try to stay in the corner of the room. Only the tanks will be in the middle of the room on defensive stance and Magia. Okay, and we will set a time once all rooms are accounted for. Okay, Ken, thanks, Typhon. So ice room is someone's doing something, okay, tricking it. They will trigger the room and
They will do the thing.
yeah, they'll do the thing. Yeah, I won't spend too much time explaining all the advanced strategies, not for the basic run. But if you're interested to learn more in future, feel free to ask. Okay, ask in the Discord. Okay, popping ready checks for all rooms and doing a shout. Okay, here is where the shout is important. Okay, doing a shout for your room element and saying that you are ready. Okay, and once all rooms are ready, Typhon will let me know and we will set, or if Typhon you want to, you can just go ahead and set a start time. You just set a ET and we will start at that time as well.
Yep. Cool.
Thanks. Okay, now once Typhon has set a start time, the tanks in the center of each room, you will step in the glowy button, not the trap. Please don't step the trap, the glowy button. Okay, 9:20, thank you very much, Typhon. So 30 seconds from now, you will step into the portal light thingy. It will shimmer to signify that you have someone stepping in it. Once all 6 rooms have someone in it, the doors will close and the mobs will spawn. Okay, tanks, just try to pull 1 at a time if you can, and healers, just keep your tank alive. DPS, burn the mobs down. If for some reason, okay, we're starting, go ahead and step into the buttons. For some reason, if your party pulls the other mob, just grab it. Okay, just grab it. You can survive two mobs, but just pop mitigations, rotate through it, and just stay alive. Try your best to stay alive. Yeah, last thing is that once you dispatch your mobs, the doors open, right? You run to the front of the hall, you shout first, meaning you have won the race. Okay, now someone is not stepping in their portal. Okay, thanks very much. Thank you. Okay, good luck. Just try to dispatch the mobs as fast as you can. Winner shouts first. Okay, do note that mobs will still do their regular attacks, so just be careful. They will do their AoE attacks as well. Keep using that sharp brand death Okay, there's no prize for being first now, but it's just something fun to do.
We need to check ice.
Alright, yeah, that's true. Okay, let's head over to the ice room. They'll need
Oh,
assistance
there's people there already.
yeah, clearing the ice room. Thanks, guys. Yeah, some of the rooms still dispatching mobs, which is fine. Yeah, there's quite a number of sort of like advanced tricks for VA that the regulars and veterans have learned throughout the years. But I will usually try to refrain from explaining too many of the advanced tips and tricks, not for the practice run. As once again, if you're interested to learn more, feel free to ask in our Discord. Okay, the Eureka questions channel is where questions will go. Okay, there's no such thing as stupid questions or silly questions. Usually, if you want to know something, it has been asked before as well. Is there a document? There's actually a guide. There's actually a BA guide. But I don't think there's like the advanced strategies have how do I say this? They change over time lah. They change over time. So like I think like Indomitable has been changed since Dawn Trail because SE has been meddling with how defense works. So certain strategies will change over time. So I don't think there's like a fixed document. But you can ask it. You can ask, maybe some of the other veterans will know a bit more about it. Yeah, I myself, honestly speaking, I don't know as much as some of the experienced players here. I do VA, but I only do practice runs nowadays. I've done like my fair share of VA in the past, so I sort of semi-retired. Okay, now, up the hall, we will see more mobs. Okay, this is actually the original set of 6 rooms, but more mobs have spawned, so Shuin will again start to tank and spank the mobs. Now tanks, check your stances. Okay, check your tank stances, because we just came from the rooms. If you have stance on and you go ham with these, you will suddenly pull the mob to you. Okay, you will take aggro, so be extremely careful that it doesn't happen unintentionally. Okay, if you're not ready for it, they might bat you and you might die. Okay, so just be careful with these. Okay, now these mobs, there are 3 mobs we need to pay attention to. The frog, which we just killed. Up ahead, there's a Bibliotaph, which is the book monster, and there's a centaur. Now, the reason for calling out these 3 mobs is not that they are special or anything, but they tend to wander the hallway here, moving into the rooms as well. So we try to account for all 3 of them. So, we have killed the frog. The book is up ahead. We are missing the centaur. So we just need to keep an eye out for a missing centaur. Sometimes they go, okay, there it is on the left. Okay, they will wander into rooms. If they go into the middle rooms, then the alliance need to be careful about that it doesn't appear from the middle room and start to ambush players from the rear of the alliance. The centaur has been pulled, so just be careful about it.
Careful of the room doors as well. There's mobs in there.
Thank you. Again, just dispatch the remaining mobs. Okay, now at this point of time, we are actually waiting for the support fate folk to join us. So support fate has actually cleared the support fate, and they will actually go through the same 10-minute process to join us here. At this point of time, right, we will wait for them to join us. Okay, we can't just go ahead without them. Okay, it's rude. They helped us and then we just go ahead without waiting for them. So we will usually wait for them to join us. Now, sometimes you will see players casting Shell and Protect. Over here on Materia and actually on Elemental, we do this thing called lining up to get your Shell and Protect buff. So Toru at the back is casting Shell and Protect. If you need it, form a line up, grab your Shell and Protect, bow or say thank you to the caster, and then step out of the line, next person step forward to get Shell and Protect. It just makes it easier for the caster to know who has it and who doesn't and who needs it. So just line up, grab Shell and Protect. Okay, if not, then once you've gotten it, or no, if you don't need it, this is where we'll take a short bathroom break. Okay, a bio break here. We're gonna take maybe about 5 minutes lah. So let's say let's rest for a while. Okay, be back by X 18. Okay, so be back by 18 minutes on. Okay, it's 2:18 for me. 2:18. It will be 5:18 for plus 11 GMT folk. Okay, be back by 5:18. Sorry, it's 5:13 now. Be back by 5:18. And we'll resume explanations then. Okay, in the meantime, go for a short bathroom break. I need a refill of my tea as well. Okay, and I will be back in about a few minutes as well. Thank you. Okay, if you have any questions, feel free to just ask them while we are waiting. Okay, I will be back in a short while. It's about X18 on the clock. So I'm just going to start us off with the explanations. Like, I think some of the support fit folks are joining us, okay, but not all of them. So if there's any spare slots in parties, I think there was one party with like 2 or 3 players only, right? Y'all can just grab the support fit folk and just, you know, form up into a single party. Okay, we always try our best to grab everyone who is interested to be in a party, because we just work better that way. It's a team effort. You know, I'm gonna start off on explanations on what's gonna happen next. Okay, so just be reminded that there is an AFK kick timer of 10 minutes. So if you have been AFK for like 6 to 7 minutes, okay, actually at 5 minutes of AFK, the game will prompt you, you have been AFK for 5 minutes. I think 7 minutes it will remind you again, and then 9 minutes once more, and then after it will kick you out. So just be very careful about AFKing for too long. Okay, the game will kick you out of the instance, and if that happens, then your run is instantly over because you're not here anymore. Okay, so just be mindful. It has happened before in my runs, so I was trying to keep it brief. Okay, now just every so often move around slightly. Okay, you can chat, you can type, you can rotate your camera. Just interact with the game to prevent the auto kick from kicking you out of the game. Okay, kicking you out of the instance. Okay, now without further ado, I'm just gonna kick off explanations for the next half of BA. Okay, there's only 3 more fights left. AV, which is Absolute Virtue, that gigantic glowy boss monster in front of us there. Okay, AV is wind expected, so you may wish to rotate your Magia to the correct element while I'm doing explanations. Okay, your Magia will regenerate over time. Now, we are down to 3 more encounters. AV, there's 2 trash mobs after AV, and Osma, which is the final fight in the Baldigian Arsenal. At this point of time, all players are recommended to switch out. Okay, especially for DPS players, you are recommended to switch out to DPS Wisdoms. Okay, if you have been using Plate Bearer or some other form of defensive, okay, actually there's only Plate Bearer. Okay, but if you're using a defensive Wisdom, usually at this point onwards, we try to encourage people to bring offensive Wisdoms instead. Okay, but if you don't have any, that's fine. Stay alive as much as you can. Okay, dead DPS do no DPS, so try your best to stay alive. Okay, for Typhon, if you can grab a tank to do north, you can try to teach them. If no one wants, really cannot, I can step in as well. No problem. My party actually has 3 tanks, but if you need someone, I can do it. Thanks. Okay, but help me get that sorted as well. Thank you. Okay, now AV itself is win expected, and for this fight, I will be doing callouts, but there are 2 things you need to look out for. Okay, number 1, his main mechanic is called Eidos, which will place bracelets on his wrists and a halo above his head that is of either a light or dark color. Okay, I will refer to them as light or dark respectively, and you need to go to the opposite color to resolve his mechanics. Now his mechanics will manifest in 2 different ways. The first is puddles of both colors will appear around the arena. There will be 9 puddles in total of both light and dark colors, and the dangerous color will expand and all the puddles will explode. So you need to move away from the dangerous color. You will hear me say move away from dark, move away from light, depending on which is the dangerous color. So just move away from the dangerous color, going to puddles of the opposite color, usually just standing at the edge of a safe colored puddle. Okay, either between 2 safe colored puddles or a puddle next to the edge of the arena will always be safe. Okay, if you are in doubt, you're not sure where to go, follow the crowd. The entire alliance will be moving off into these safe spaces. If you follow them, you generally should be fine. Okay, this is the first mechanic of Eidos. Now the second mechanic is Impact Stream. Same thing, he has a safe or dangerous color, okay, a light or dark color, and he will bisect the arena into 2 halves. light and dark half. You will hear me say, go to light, or go to dark, go to the correct color, and stay on that side. Now healers, take note that during this time, the mechanic still does damage. It's just not lethal. Doesn't kill you instantly, it still does some damage. Remember to heal through. Now midway through the fight, AV will become untargetable and summon 3 clones, which will fire off impact streams one after another. We will need to resolve 3 of these in sequence. Just stack in the middle, start healing through. Okay, healers, remember heal. Okay, you'll hear me call for it. I'll say come to the center, rotate to defensive. Okay, if you wish to, you can manually rotate to wind, which defensive wind, because you're not doing any DPS during that phase. Just rotate to defense, make it easier for your healers. Okay, and just cross over light, dark, light, dark, light, dark. Okay, depending on which color is required. And at the end of it, you will need to run away from the center and come back in after he lands. Okay, I will do these callouts as well. Just follow the callouts and generally should be fine. Okay, now the last thing here is we have our main tank. Okay, so Shuin, if you are here, if you are still present, I will point Shuin out. And for this fight, the main tank is particularly important because whenever there's a tank buster, I will say tank buster, move away from main tank. This means that the main tank is about to take a tank buster, and the tank buster has no telegraph and is centered on the main tank. So anyone standing around the main tank will take the same tank buster as well. If you're not a tank or you're not ready, not prepared for it, you will just get one-shotted. So just stay away from the main tank. It really helps if you mark out the main tank for this fight, because whenever tank busters come out, there will be other mechanics happening at the same time. You want to be mindful of where the main tank is when I say to move away from the main tank. Okay, now the other main mechanic that I want to mention here is called Turbulent Aether. Now Turbulent Aether is a personal mechanic that 8 random players will be marked with. And what happens during Turbulent Aether is that there will be tethers on these 8 players. Now if you are one of the 8 marked players, you need to resolve the mechanic. Okay, now unfortunately for BA, right, there's this thing going on where a few players need to do mechanics, but if they fail, they blast everyone else, which you'll see later in Osma as well, which makes it a bit difficult to guarantee clears for BA. Okay, it's like even if you don't know what you're doing and you get marked for the mechanic, right, and you just blast everyone else, there's a chance that it might snowball into a wipe. It might cascade into a dangerous situation. So try your best to resolve these personal mechanics. Now, Turbulent Aether, if you are marked with an orb and tether, okay, you'll be an orb and a tether, and that orb and tether has a color. It's either a light color or a dark color. Around the edge of the arena, there will be 8 puddles, 1 for each marked player. Okay, if you have a light orb and tether, you go to a dark circular puddle and stand in it until the orb touches you. Once the orb touches you, it explodes, but because you're standing in the opposite color puddle, you will block or mitigate most of the incoming damage. Try your best to find a puddle of the opposite color and stand in it until the orb contacts you and explodes. Once it has exploded, you have resolved the mechanic, come back to the center for heals and shields. Okay, do note that you cannot share puddles, so if someone else is standing in a puddle, please don't go step in it with them, because that means that you both will take 2 instances of damage, which will generally kill both of you. So don't share puddles. Worst case scenario, if you cannot find a puddle, or maybe you run around, you can't see it, there's a puddle there, someone steps into it just before you do, and the other puddle's all the way on the opposite side. Run along the edge, pop defensive mitigations, and rotate to defensive Magia. You can survive an orb exploding on you, unmitigated, with enough defensive stuff going on. Okay, if you have defense Magia, healer notice, put a shield on you, you pop some mitigations, you can survive it. Okay, just whatever you do, don't pop the orb in the center, because the orb blasts everyone and puts damage down on all those players. So you do not want to pop orbs in the middle. Okay, for all other players, we will be mostly congregated near the middle. If you see players not moving with orbs tethered to them, right, move away from them as well. Okay, sometimes unlucky things happen. People DC mid-fight, they get marked with orb and tether, they DC, and stuff like that happens. Just move away from them. Try to play defensively as well. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the AV fight. Okay, there will be ads in this fight, so Typhon has helped to sort this out. So thank you very much once again, Typhon. Okay, 2 of the tanks will be taking Wyvern ads. Okay, these 2 ads need to be burned down before they explode. Okay, they literally cast Explosion. It's a slow cast Enrage. Need to kill them before it happens. Usually we assign 2 tanks to just tank and hold them in place so that the DPS can just burn them down. Okay, if you have Shark Brand Death L and you swift cast Death L and it sticks, the ads will instantly die. So Death works on ads. You can use Death L in PA as well. Okay, other than that, I think that's pretty much it. Okay, we're gonna pop ready checks because we might not be sure that everyone is present. So I'm gonna all parties just have to pop ready checks. And if you are ready, come forwards beyond the purple line. Okay, if you are here, you're present, you're ready. Okay, last call for Pro Shell. Thanks, Toru. If you need Protect or Shell, Toru usually at the back is casting it. Please go, signal to them that you need Protect and Shell before they remove it as well. Okay, they'll probably swap out to another tray before we get started. Where's Toru? I think they are all the way at the back. Okay, but you can click on their name as well. Click on their name, target them. Missing. They are so far that you need to. I see. Okay, so yeah, if you need it, just let them know. If not, then come forwards, come to the front. Okay, I'm gonna assume that all parties are ready. If you have someone who's not ready, please let us know now. Okay, I'm not gonna manually make sure all 6 parties are ready. I'm just gonna say, if you are ready, come forwards. If you are not ready, you must let us know. Okay, just yell out or say out. Someone DC, someone AFK. Let us know. Okay, if not, then we will be starting at ET. Okay, I'm gonna give us slightly longer here, so 18. Okay, 1800. Okay, 1800. ET. If you all need Bravery, it's on the left side. Okay, some people bring Bravery, which is a damage up buff. Okay, Typhon has it. So you need Bravery, just go grab it from Typhon. He can cast it on a limited number of people, but just go approach him. He will just cast it on as many people as he can. Okay, I think he has like 50 charges or 99 charges. Okay, thanks Eric once again. Food check. Magia board check. 99, thanks. Stuns check. Okay, main tank stuns on, everyone else stuns off. Spirit of the Remembered check. If you have died before, remember to pop a new one. Okay, and we will try our best to burn down, to kill AV. Okay, we'll do our best. Sometimes accidents happen, but generally speaking, AV is not too bad. Okay, if you die and your spirit doesn't proc, then unfortunately you just lay there until we clear the boss and we'll pick you up afterwards. Okay, but try your best to stay alive. Do your best. Okay, and generally speaking, we should be fine. Okay, if there's any other last minute questions you wish to ask, okay, now is a good time to ask it. Okay, if not, then likewise, once again, okay, we'll be starting in about a minute or so. And this time around, because we had the luxury of building up limit break gauges and everything, LB2 will be at, okay, LB2 is ET1758. Okay, LB1 is ET1759. Okay, again, range or caster limit break only. Okay, we're gonna start soon, so ready up. Try our best. Okay, and just listen to callouts. Okay, for range or casters, get ready to just fire off the limit break 2. Go ahead, just fire it off. LB1 as well, fire off. And main tank will establish immediately. Okay, now the boss will start off with a red white as is common. And the first mechanic is IDOS. Now this is away from dark. Now the very first time he does it, there's only one color puddles. Move away from these. Subsequent casts will have 2 colored puddles. Now go close to AV, come back towards AV. He follows up with Medusa Javelin, which is a massive conal AoE like this. It's very hard to dodge AV's mechanics if you're far away, so for this fight, try to stay close to AV as best as you can. Now Impact Stream is next. Go to the dark half. Once again, being close to the center, being close to AV, makes it easy to dodge to the correct half. Tank Buster on the main tank. Move away from the tank. You can ignore all those other people trying to stack with Shuin. That's fine. Those guys know what they're doing. Or in Dante's case, she doesn't really, but you know, she does it anyway. Okay, now 2 colored puddles away from light puddles, away from the light puddles. Okay, this dark half over here, this entire section is safe. You just move away from all the light puddles there. Case in point. I think Dante is trying something else. Trying to hit the damage outposts. Okay, now more red whites, and shortly after this, there will be Turbulent Aether. So get ready for Turbulent Aether. Now some players will be marked with tethers. Try to stop DPS and notice if you have tether. Check for your tethers. Now wait for the Medusa Javelin and go. Okay, if you have tether, go resolve your op and tether mechanic. Okay, there will be a tank buster during this time, so move away from the main tank. Okay, main tank taking tank buster. Once you have popped your op and tether, come back to the alliance for heals. More red whites incoming. Okay, now shortly after this, AV will become untargetable. We'll be stacking in the middle, and you may wish to rotate your Mega to defensive, okay, which is wind. Manually rotate to wind, AV will be untargetable during this time. Okay, stacking in the middle, pop defensives, some mitigations, healer just heal through. If you have European potions, pop those as well. 3 impact streams one after another. The first one is dark, be on dark cover. The last 2 will be light. Okay, next is light. And last one is light as well. Now after this, pop sprint, run away from the proximity. Okay, as far as you can, and go back close after he lands. Okay, go back in. AV does a Medusa Javelin at the end. Okay, rotate your Mega back to offensive against wind, which is ice, and continue to burn AV down. There will be a tank buster after this. Okay, tank buster on Queen. Okay, and we will see another Turbulent Aether with ads next. This is ads.
Just kill AV.
Yeah, but we're just committing. We just commit to burning AV down. Just commit. And we are done. Okay, nice. Okay, I think there were quite a couple of deaths, but most of them got back up. Okay, now there is a treasure coffer at the end here. Remember to pick up your treasure coffer. There's Hellebore who is dead, which is also another common sight. Okay, the healer will sacrifice, don't worry about it. Okay, and for everyone else, I think only one dead player remaining, right? Okay, yes. Okay, so for everyone else, let's just move on. Thanks very much. Yeah, I know he used sacrifice. I get it. I understand. I don't expect Hellebore to just die from accident. It's probably sacrifice. Yeah, I know. Which is why I say it's a common sight. So I would like to encourage players to be appreciative of your healers who are casting sacrifices throughout this run. Sacrifices, I think, not very cheap, quite expensive. I think in the vicinity of 100 to 150k. So quite expensive. So be appreciative of healers. Thank you. Okay, now moving onwards, we're going to see 2 more trash ads up ahead. Now these 2 ads will be do not burst them down. These are used as DPS batteries for us to build cages. So once majority of us is here, okay, or in fact Shuin has already started pulling, can use the ads to build your gauge. Okay, whatever red mage, black and white mana, samurai sand or stickers, okay, ninja, Bavra gauges, okay, whatever gauges, okay, just use them to build the gauge. Do note that these Arsenal Strixers, okay, these owls, will cast a spell called On the Properties of Darkness, which must be stunned. Okay, as a tank, as a paladin, I usually have a spare stun on hand, okay, but do note that this cast must be stunned. If it goes off, it will dispel buffs from everyone hit by it, which may or may not include your Spirit of the Remembered buff sometimes. Okay, we've seen it happen before. Okay, but we want to use them to build our gauges. Okay, now, those who are new first-timers, enjoy your cutscene. Quite a number of first-time players, which is fine. This is a learning run after all. Actually, it's quite nice to see. It's quite nice to see that there's a lot of new players. Okay, now, cutscene is done. First things first, do not step off the glowy, shiny button at the front. Do not go to the front. There's gonna be, again, more organizational stuff to be handled here. This is the final fight for the Baldigian Arsenal, and you need to clear this to get your clear. Okay, now, once again, at the back, there's a pro shell caster. We do the lineup thing as civilized
Like
people do.
civilized people.
Yeah, like civilized people do. Just line up and, you know, get your shell and protect at the rear. Thank you very much, BVD. And while that's going on,
cutting queue.
no, I'm doing the thing that Eric's doing on the left. Yeah, see, need to balance off. Eric's on the left is too much, so I need to come over on the right to balance it. Yeah. Okay, now while that's going on, get your shell and protect at the rear. I'm going to start off explanations. We have 32 minutes left, which is quite a new record for me. Usually I'm down to like 20 minutes or less here, so I've gone like 10 minutes faster, which is nice to see. Okay, but hopefully I don't take too long for the explanations. Okay, so without further ado, let's get started on the explanations. Welcome to the final fight in the Baldigian Arsenal. This is Proto Osma, which is you need to clear this fight to get your clear. Now, the actual thing you need to do here is you need to be in the Osma arena when Osma is defeated to clear it. But this is going to be difficult because periodically in the fight, Osma will do this move called Black Hole, which will siphon you, or for lack of a better term, suck you out of the arena. Okay, it looks like a toilet bowl flushing. So it will flush you out of the arena. If that happens to you, right, unfortunately your run is over. So if that does happen, now unfortunately, if touch wood, if that does happen, please stay with your party. Okay, don't like just rage quit and then exit the game, because in your full party of 8 members, your party has access to limit break 3. So if you stay with your party, even though you are no longer eligible to clear the run, your party members who are still fighting are. So stay with your party, give the people still fighting a fighting chance. Okay, the healer may be able to utilize LB3 during this fight. Okay, but if you leave, then they will immediately lose a member and lose their limit break 3 as well. Okay, now, next. Okay, I'm West. Okay, I will be West MT. Be West MT. Okay, next. For this fight, we are going to split our alliance into 3 main groups. East, West, and South, with each platform or each group having 1 main tank and ideally 1 or more healers in that party. Okay, because for the Osma fight, Osma attacks 3 players at once, 1 on each platform, and the one with the highest enmity takes the hit. Osma's attacks are like tank busters, so we need tanks to tank Osma in this fight. Okay, you will notice some of us, so once again, for example, Shuin, 2, 4, 2, South, MT plus Pain Flare, meaning Shuin's party, 2 tanks, 4 healers, 2 DPS will be main tanking the South platform. Okay, they will also be handling one of the mechanics called Pain Flare, which is the triangle forms bleed mechanic. Okay, usually this mechanic is handled by healers, okay, but if a healer knows how to do it, they can voice out that they know how to do it, and as the party leader will recognize that and let the organizers know as well. Okay, Typhon, once again, thank you very much for handling the orc. Okay, now if if you're not a main tank, if you're not new, not a veteran, and you're not sure what's going on, right, don't step up for these roles. Okay, let the veterans handle them. It's a learning process, okay. We don't expect new players to straight away step up and handle these mechanics, especially since for this fight, if some of the mechanics are not handled properly, right, it can snowball into a red wipe. This is the fight where things get very dangerous because there will be targeted mechanics that individual players have to handle, and I cannot help you handle it. I cannot resolve it for you, so you have to try your best. Okay, I will explain as you go along later on. Okay, so I'll try my best to explain stuff lah. Okay, now if there's any parties beyond the first starting tree, so you will notice, for example, BD's party 026, so 2 healers, 6 DPS, West party, they will be an ST party lah. So essentially they are a sub tank party, although in this case no tank, which is fine. Generally the main tank party will be doing all the tanking things. Okay, STs don't do any tanking unless your MT dies. Okay, if the main tank party has no tanks left, then the ST party tank will step in. Okay, basically if you are a tank and your main tank dies, doesn't matter who, you can try to step in, but know what you're doing. Okay, only if you're ready to step in, then you step in, because the main tank has a role and a responsibility, and they take a lot of damage if they are not prepared for it. So make sure you're on defensive and you have a defensive wisdom to survive the incoming damage. Okay, now main Osma mechanics. There are 2 main mechanics that everyone needs to know how to resolve. Okay, for this fight I'll be doing short calls for most of the fight, but everyone will need to know how to resolve these 2 main mechanics. Now the first mechanic is meteors. Now meteors will happen during the triangle form and the spiked ball form of Osma, and every platform will have 2 players marked with a massively huge AoE marker. This AoE marker is friggin' huge. Okay, you cannot miss it. It is a very, very big AoE, but because we are usually all stacked together, it is hard to identify who has it. Quickly space out a little bit, spread out a little bit to see who has it. If you have it, you got to do the mechanic. Okay, you got to resolve the mechanic. Now, to resolve this mechanic, these 2 players, one will go to the rear right corner of the platform, the other one will go to the left onto the ring shaped platform. There is a button on the ring to the left. Okay, once again, this is important. Here on Materia, we use clockwise directions. Go to the left. Okay, someone once mentioned this Beyonce song. To the left, to the left. Always go to the left. Facing Osma to the left, clockwise direction. Later, when we go down to the Osma platform, all parties will place 2 waymarks for your own party. These 2 waymarks will show you where to plonk the meteors. Okay, every party you have your own set of waymarks. All parties are expected to place 2 waymarks for the meteors, because why? Meteors are the #1 killer in BA. If a meteor is plonked right in the center of the platform, everyone dies. Okay, everyone on that platform dies. So we try our best to resolve meteors. Because it is 2 random players, can be 2 healers, 2 DPS, 2 new players, the main tank and another new player, can be any 2 players on that platform. Everyone needs to know what to do for meteors. Try your best to resolve them. Okay, the other thing is that these 2 players must adjust to each other. One goes to the rear, the other goes to the left. You cannot stack them at the same spot. Try to adjust. Okay, try your best to put them as far as you can from the front, because that's where everybody else is, and try your best to adjust to each other. Okay, commit to the other person. Okay, so let's say if I have one, I run to the rear, the other person with the meteor waymark sees me going to the rear, they instinctively understand they're closer to the left, they go to the left side waymark. Try your best to adjust. Okay, fingers crossed. Everyone can resolve meteors properly. We don't get too many accidents. Okay, if it does happen, if meteors drop in the middle, right, tanks just pop tank LB and pray that your party survives. Or if you all die, right, the spirit procs and try to get up, hit the ground running again. Okay, this fight, in this fight, if you die, right, don't give up hope. Okay, don't AFK, because mid fight, people will res you. Okay, because this is the last fight, right? So, people will try to pick you up during the fight. Because if you don't stay alive, right, you will get sucked out of the instance. So stay alert during this fight. Don't AFK. Okay. Now next, The second mechanic is acceleration bombs. Now, acceleration bombs happen during the triangle form. Okay, now AFK warning, AFK warning. If you have been AFK for more than 7 minutes or more, just kindly interact with your game to prevent auto kicking. Okay, I'm going to resume explanations here. Now, acceleration bombs, triangle form. A number of random players will be marked with a debuff. The debuff timer is semi-random and it will count down. As it hits 5 seconds or less, there's a dice icon appear above your head. When you see that, get ready to stop moving. Okay, when the counter, okay, the debuff hits 3, 2, 1, you need to stop moving. You need to stop doing anything. No movement, no attacks, no auto attacks. If you are ranged DPS, don't target Osma. Deselect Osma or just sheath your weapon to stop auto attacks, because it can trigger acceleration bombs as well. If you don't do anything, the debuff just drops off, nothing happens, you have resolved the mechanic. Okay, but if you move, cast or auto attack, it triggers, it detonates, blasting you and everyone else around you for 90% of HP. It is percentage based, cannot be mitigated. So once the Excel bomb goes off, everyone down to 10% HP. The next mechanic that comes in afterwards usually is a meteor or stack mechanic, right? It will just wipe out everyone. So try your best to resolve Excel bombs. Excel bomb players, try your best to pay attention. You have Excel bomb, stop moving. Okay, it's the same dice icon you see in the Fall Guys event that has started recently. Okay, there's this dice icon 3, 2, 1, and then you stop moving. If not, you explode, you get sent flying to the sky. Here, you don't get sent flying to the sky, you just blast everyone around you. Okay, so try your best to resolve Excel bombs. Okay, healers, if you see it go off, quickly spam Cure 3. Okay, Cure 3 AoE heals, just top up everyone, because it almost always follows up with a red-white. Okay, a red-white damage, meteor or the stack marker. Okay, try your best to resolve Excel bombs. Okay, now, last few things to mention before we get ready to go down. There'll be a few knockbacks in this fight. Okay, there's a shooting star knockback that punted to the front or punted to the rear. Okay, as well as a holy knockback, which happens during the square form. Now, for that mechanic, you need to stay closer to the front of the platform. Okay, I would say small incoming knockback, stay closer to the front. What I mean is stay closer to the front of whatever platform you're on. Don't be confused by going back onto the main platform. You may be required to get off the platform by going onto the ring, but stay closer to the front of the ring. Okay, I want to make this clear because I've seen people, I say, stay closer to the front, they run back to the main platform. No, it just means stay closer to the front of the platform. This means if you're on the ring, stay closer to the front of the ring. It will just push you away from the center to the outer edges. If you are closer to the middle, you will just, nothing will happen, you'll be fine, you'll stay on the platform. Okay, or arm's length shortcast also works as well. Okay, now, other than that, that's pretty much it. Any other pressing questions? Okay, anything you want to ask, now is the best time to ask. Okay, if not, then we will pop ready checks at this time. Okay, we'll pop ready checks at this time. And once all parties are ready, the main tanks will go down first and go to their platforms and place waymarks. Okay, parties will help to place waymarks once you start to move down to your platforms. Okay, do note what Typhon is saying. Don't fall off the initial starting platform because you can die. Okay, before the fight even starts, you can fall off and you can actually die. So please be very careful not to fall off the initial starting platform, and do not target the boss until we are ready. Because if someone hits Osma and we are not ready yet, Osma hits us back very, very hard. Okay, he straight away hits 3 people with tank busters, and if the tanks are not in place, 3 people instantly die. Okay, so just be very mindful about these 2 things. Do not fall off the platform, do not target Osma before we get into position. Okay, other than that, is there anyone who is not ready? Okay, if there's people who are not ready, please let us know. If not, then at this point of time, okay, all main tanks, main tanks, start to go down first to your starting platforms. Okay, and help to place waymarks. Okay, if you are there at your platform, help to place waymarks. Okay. Now, Osma is gonna be Thunder expected, and it will stay as Thunder this entire fight. There's no Mega rotation at all in this fight. So you are free to just rotate to the correct Mega and you will be fine afterwards. Okay, thanks very much. Okay, help all parties help to place your waymarks. Okay, help to place your waymarks. If you are in a party and you don't see the waymarks, let us know. We will tell you where to place them. Now, Ilu's party, if you are uncertain where to place the waymarks, you sound off and someone will tell you where to put them. Okay, but generally speaking, one is on the rectangular platform, the back right edge, and one is to the left on the ring-shaped platform. There's a button there. You need to be place one on that button. Okay, now the last thing to mention here, I almost forgot, is that every time I say black hole, everyone needs to be on a button. Okay, do you see all these 6 buttons on the platform? There's a button there. Everyone must be on a button, and all 6 buttons must have somebody in it. Okay, usually let the veterans handle the ring-shaped button. Just go to the nearest button. If you are new and you're unsure, just go to a button, any button. Okay, just be on a button, stay in it until the mechanic goes off. Okay, if you fail that mechanic, you get siphoned out. Now, unfortunately, dead players will automatically get sucked out even if you're on a button. So try your best to stay alive for the majority of this fight, or all the way to the end if you can. Okay, so we're just gonna say ready for all parties who are ready. Okay, let's probably check. So okay, check your food. Okay, do food checks. Magia board check. Main tanks stance checks. Spirit of the Remembered check and wisdom checks. Can once we have all parties ready, Typhon will let us know and I'll set a start time. Thank you, Typhon. Okay, all parties are ready. So we're gonna start at ET 0230. Okay, 40 ET at least. Okay, usually this extended ET for the Osma fight is to let people cast Bravery, do focus L charges, okay, and Del shenanigans. Okay, but other than that, we will prepare for the fight, listen to callouts, try our best to stay alive as long as you can. If you die and spirit procs, remember to pop a new spirit. Go to a safe spot first and then pop a new spirit once it is safe to do so. And try our best to stay in this fight as long as you can. Last few things to mention here. Okay, LB2, so 0230, so LB2 is at 0228. LB1 is 0229. Now range, caster, or melee LB as well. Okay, Osma doesn't aggro, but do not touch Osma. Okay, BBD's pro tip number 69, do not touch the ball. If you touch his hitbox, its hitbox, it will aggro onto you. If you're not sure, let the range or casters do it. It's not a very big deal. Okay, because it's safer to just let range or casters fire off the LB instead of accidentally starting the fight early. Okay, and other thing, BBD's pro tip number 67, if this is making you nervous, this fight is making you nervous, you can type in /BGM space 0 if the music is making you anxious. Okay, we've been there before, we understand it. You may wish to turn down the music if this fight is making you nervous. Okay, other than that, 10 more ET before we start. Breathe in, deep breath, breathe in, breathe out. Okay, if we stay cool, everything will be fine. Thanks, Taiwan. Okay, we're gonna start soon. Try our best, focus up, and let's try our best to get this done. Okay, now limit break 2, fire it off. Limit break 1, go ahead. Okay, and main tanks will establish MD on Osma. Okay, Osma opens up with heavy hitting tank buster like auto attacks on all the 3 main tanks. Keep the main tanks alive. Now the first mechanic is always point blank. Okay, star form, point blank. So move to the rear, go to the rear, everyone to the rear. Staying stacked together as a group, we will move forwards together. The star form does a split damage auto attack that must be shared. You will do a shooting star knockback soon after this. You will need to position yourself to be punted to the front. Okay, front or rear is fine, just not to the sides. Okay, just position yourself to be knocked back. Arm's length surecast works as well. You can stay stacked. Black hole number 1 soon. Now for black hole, all players must be on a button any button, all 6 buttons must be accounted for. The ranged and casters, ideally you try to go to the left to cover it, okay, but let the veterans deal with it unless there's no one there. Okay, black hole 1, be on a button. Okay, once the animation has gone off, you can step off the button and continue to DPS. Movement mechanic coming up. These are known as the Ozma shades at the rear. Go to the rear, go to the rear. Everyone to the rear. This is a donut. Okay, move back forwards. Okay, we're back to heavy hitting tank busters on the main tanks. There will be a double movement mechanic soon. Getting off the platform, main tanks get off last. Go to the front afterwards, go to the front now. Staying stacked to the front left, tanks bait lasers away from the party and pop orbs. Okay, do not hit the tank with the stack marker, tank move away. Incoming knockback, small incoming knockback. Okay, and continue to DPS. Okay, now square form is the best form to DPS. Just burn, burn, burn. Okay, tanks will continue to bait lasers away from the party unless you are Typhon. Movement mechanic. Staying stacked, go to the rear. Staying stacked, go to the rear. Incoming knockback. And continue to bait lasers away from the party. Black hole 2 soon. Black hole 2. Everyone to a button, everyone to a button. All 6 buttons must be accounted for. Once the animation has gone off, you can step off the button. You're doing good, 33%. Movement mechanic. Stay to the front, stay to the front. Going to the rear afterwards, going to the rear now. To move to the rear, staying stacked. Move forwards together as a group. Now this will have meteors, so meteors get ready. Meteors go, meteors go. Try to adjust. Okay, just go and place one at the rear and one to the left. Place your meteors, come back to the party for shields and heals. Incoming knockback to the front. You get knocked to the front and then burn ads. Stay stacked. Okay, these ads just need to be burned down before they enrage with a tornado cast. Nice. Movement mechanic. Knock back to the rear. Knock back to the rear. You must be punted to the rear. Wait for the donut. Wait for the donut. And go back to the front. Okay, stay stacked. Black hole 3 soon. I should have read it, but it's okay. It's fine, it's fine. You know, everyone to a button, everyone to a button. All 6 buttons must be accounted for. Don't need to greet too hard. DPS is good, it's fine. But yeah, I mean, it happens, it happens. No worries. Okay, now, once the animation has gone off, you can step off the button. Movement mechanic. Go to the rear, go to the rear. Get off the platform afterwards, get off the platform now. Triangle form, acceleration bombs and meteors. Get ready for both of these. Excel bombs, just check for your debuff. Meteors, go, try to adjust. Okay, just committing, I guess. Just burn it down. Nice. I see Keko just stand there, just commit with the meteor on me.
Yeah, I know.
But I realized what he was doing, so it's okay. Yeah, it's all good. Okay. If it's your first time clearing, congrats once again. You need to yeet yourself into the hole.
The abyss.
Yeah, the toilet bowl, as we call it. If it's your first time clearing, you need to sacrifice yourself into the toilet bowl. You know, this is just a tradition that we do for first time clearers. Just jump in. You will find yourself back at the south platform. Okay, we'll take screenshots here on the south platform facing away from the exit portal. There is a treasure coffer here. Do remember to grab that coffer. This provides you with cryptic seals and damascene cloths, which is used to buy the gear body piece for gearing up your BA classes. You can give them to a friend, sell them on the market board, introduce other friends to come join us for more BA runs in future. Okay, now that's pretty much it for the run today. A couple of things to mention before I wrap up. Okay, once again, congrats for those who have cleared. Now, for those who didn't clear, okay, accidents happen. It is unfortunate, but they do happen, unfortunately. So, not to worry, we will have more runs in future. Now that you have seen the entirety of BA, okay, you have survived all the way from start to nearing the end. You are now ready to try your hand at attempting BA by yourselves. Over here on MATERIA, we will conduct BA runs occasionally. Okay, usually the regular hosts will post up a notification in our Discord channel and just get the ping roll to be notified of when they are running it. Okay, do note that these runs are usually FFA runs, okay, free for all runs. There are no signups. You just rock up, be prepared, join a party, shout for one, yell for one, get into a party, make sure you have all the stuff you need, and just wing it and have fun. Okay, usually the host will do the organization. They may or may not be on DC. It's not a must, but as long as you know what to do, you should be fine. Okay, and as well as to thank all the folks here, okay, especially all the veterans who have joined us on the run today. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, the vets are the ones who are doing all the heavy lifting. Okay, I'm just here to do the callouts, host and post the event. Okay, but they are actually the ones who are carrying us through these runs. So thank you very much, veterans. You guys know who you are. Okay, thanks Typhon, especially for stepping in to not laser the party. I mean, to help with the organization of the run. So thanks very much to Typhon. Okay, as well as for Eric, Perception Guru or Perception God. If you're interested to learn how to percept stuff, please look for Eric. He's the one you need to look for to learn how to do perception. He's always been helping out with these things as well. Okay, and I always appreciate your healers for casting sacrifices. Those aren't very cheap. Okay, other than that, if you have any further questions, okay, feel free to ask them in our Discord. Okay, as mentioned earlier on, there's a Eureka questions channel. Okay, that's where your questions go to. Okay, the lounge is actually more for chit chat and chattering. Ask questions in the questions channel. Okay, odds are if you have a question, someone else has the same question as well. Okay, and everyone can benefit from getting answers to these questions. Okay, and do look out for more runs in future. They will be hosted every so often. I think every week there's at least 1 or 2 runs. Yeah, feel free to just join. Okay, generally on MATERIA, we have a small but close-knit community here. Yeah, everyone knows everyone. Feel free to just join in, participate in the runs. Help out if you so wish to do so. Step up to take up some of the roles. You get to know the people who are running these events, and eventually one day you will just become one of us as well. Okay, so feel free to just join them. Most of us are generally, okay, no, not most of us, all of us are generally very friendly, okay, except Typhon. Typhon lasers the party, not very friendly. Okay, but other than that, all of us here are actually quite friendly. We always welcome new players to join us in the MATERIA BA runs. Okay, do look forward to them. I think Dong also hosts some over here on MATERIA as well. Dong from Elemental. So there are people who come over and host. Generally speaking, it's the same. Okay, Elemental and MATERIA strats more or less the same. Whatever you've done here today is what you'll be doing in these other host runs as well. Okay, with the exception of there's no signups. Okay, you just come in, join, and just wing it or listen to the host instruction. Try your best, and you will eventually get 1 or more clears, as many as you so desire in the future. Other than that, that's it from me. Thanks so much for coming. I managed to keep this relatively okay. Still about 2 hours. Okay, but thanks so much for joining us today. Hope to see you guys in future BA runs. Shout out to Seal, who's running DRS tomorrow. For those of you who are so inclined. Okay, over here on the CA Discord, we actually run a number of other events as well. Do feel free to check out some of the other events that are being hosted here. Okay, primarily on Materia. Okay, and do ask questions. Feel free to just join us for a chit chat. Okay, and I'll see you guys around in future events and runs as well. That's it from me. Take care now, guys. Sharp signing off.
Thank you very much.
Thank
See you next time.
you.
Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Welcome. See you. Right, so that's it from me for this month's BA run. That took about 2 hours. Yeah, it's about 2 hours. Not too bad, not too bad. 10 minutes. I think shaved it off by about 10 minutes or so. But yeah, it still takes a while for these BA practice runs. I always try to cut down the run time if I can. But I have this tendency to try to explain everything because of having experienced negative side effects of not explaining something. Okay, like the one run I don't explain about the holy knockback, right? Someone mistook my call out to go to the front, right? Or stay closer to the front as go to the front of the platform, and then they died from the laser beams firing. So I try to be more verbose. Okay, I try to be more comprehensive to cover all the details, which tends to eat up a lot of time. Okay, I will try my best to cut down on explanation times as I can, or if I can. Okay, I think certain things like maybe in future the AV Wyvern ads no need to explain. Raiden's cloud to ground mechanic doesn't need explanation there as well. But yeah, Osma is the one that I cannot cut down on. So yeah, quite a number of things to trim down. Yeah, I would prefer to, like, time is a valuable commodity for everyone involved. So try not to eat up too much time. Even though I'm running this on my own time and people are joining to learn stuff, yeah, it is important not to waste too much time as well. But yeah, that's it from me for today. I haven't had lunch yet, so I'm gonna head off for lunch at this point of time. Yeah, I probably need to restock my logo sections as well. Other than that, I think that's it from me for today. I will be hosting these runs every month. So it's usually held at the last week of the month, the last weekend of the month, bearing certain scheduling issues. Okay, like for example, if the weekend is a patch release, or maybe there's some other event going on, then I will either shift it forwards or backwards by a week or so. Okay, but otherwise I usually try to host these whenever I can, every month if I can, within certain limits. And even though it is done through signups, okay, even though I have a sign up form or sign up sheet for the event, people are always welcome to just hop into they are welcome to hop into the run as well. Okay, we don't restrict players from joining us in BA runs, because I have always believed that BA is an open instance and anyone is allowed to just hop in and join. Okay, the entry process itself is open to public, so as long as anyone is interested to join, is aware that of what type of run it is. Okay, if it's a learning run, generally speaking, it's gonna take longer than normal lah. Okay, so I try my best to inform people that, hey, this is gonna be a learning run. Be mindful that if you wish to join the run, not really uninvited, but unannounced lah. Okay, if they didn't sign up, if they see that I'm running and they decide, okay, I'm just gonna crash the run, quote unquote crash the run, they must be aware that it's a practice run. I'm gonna go at a specific pace lah. Okay, I cannot rush the run just because they wish me to do so. Okay, so they need to be aware of this. But other than that, generally speaking, people are just welcome to just join. Okay, they're welcome to just join in the runs. Generally, it's a good time. Okay, most of the time, it's a good time. There's a bunch of regulars who always do BA all the time over here on MATERIA. And I always rely on them for support and assistance. Okay, like Typhon, BBD, Kenna, Hellebore, okay, Eric, Tomato sometimes, okay, and so on and so forth. Okay, all the usual regulars. There's way too many for me to name all of them. Okay, but they know who they are. So thanks very much, guys. Yeah, it is very much appreciated. Okay, other than that, I think that's it from me for this week's, or should I say this session of the BA practice run. Okay, I do look forward for more in future. Okay, next month, November, I will also be hosting one. But because of the patch 7.1 release, I may or may not. Okay, it depends lah. It depends. I may postpone it to slightly later into December. Okay, maybe give patch 7.1 one whole month for people to enjoy the new content. Or I may push it to earlier. If 7.1 comes in the third week of November, I may decide to run it on the third weekend of November. Okay, so slightly earlier by a week so that we don't clash with a new patch release. Okay, usually when there's a new patch, people just are not so interested to run old content. So I try not to clash with that if possible. Okay, other than that, I think that's it for me for today. Okay, I won't have too many other streams coming up in this upcoming week. Wednesdays and Thursdays are my deep dungeon runs. I've already finished my Criterion dungeon runs. I may look to start up new runs in future. Okay, but do be notified that I will be taking a week off from streaming for this upcoming week. Okay, I have some things I need to deal with, some matters I need to handle. So I'm gonna take a week off to deal with those things, which it'll be a week. Okay, it'll just be a week. I'll try not to extend it beyond a week. Hopefully it will get resolved soon, and then I will resub after. I will rejoin, restream afterwards. Okay, continue streaming afterwards. Okay, so that's it for me for today. Thanks so much, guys. As always, if you like my content, do give me a thumbs up, as well as to subscribe to my channel. Okay, to be notified of when I'm streaming. I do have a fixed schedule, although the schedule is getting more and more slimmer. Okay, because my events are concluding. Okay, I will look to start more Criterion dungeon runs soon. I'm asking around to see if people are interested in running them. Okay, I may consider opening them up to some others as well. Okay, but I will handle all of this through the Content Achievers Discord, which is where I primarily host and run things. Okay, the link is actually down in the channel description as well. Okay, we actually run a lot of other content types. Okay, BA runs, DRS runs. I myself host some other content types as well. Okay, treasure maps, Criterion dungeons, fishing runs, and blue mage content. Okay, as well as I will be looking forward to the limited jobs, Beastmaster, being released in this expansion as well. Okay, looking forward to that as well. Okay, so we will also support some of the other newer content types. Okay, our Discord is primarily focused on achievements. Okay, but all the new content has achievements as well, so technically falls under the scope. Okay, but we are not a hardcore week 1 raider prop type community, so I don't expect to dive headlong into it on day 1. Okay, but I will eventually
start to cover some of the newer content in the days to come as well. Okay, so that's it from me for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will see you guys around. So do take care and have a great weekend ahead. Okay, and do look forward for more streams in the future as well. So thanks so much, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye bye now.